Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet that asks the question, Gravity, what's up with that? I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm your host, Chad, and today we're talking about Gravity.
And then on Thursday, we're going to be giving our little review/reaction to the Xbox One area tour.
As always, you can check us out over at Twitter at Epic Geek Out. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/epicgeekout, and also check out the website, www.epicgeekout.com. But let's get into our review of Gravity. So Gravity, it's directed by Alfonso Cuarón. It is stars Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Really only those two in the movie. You hear some voices as well. And it is, well, first off, we saw it in 3D. I'm just going to say at the top of this review, see it in 3D. This movie is a visual feast, and it really lends itself well to the 3D format. And, it does have a story going throughout. It's about this mission specialist who is up there working on, I believe, some type of communication, and this debris starts forming in space, and then it's pretty much about her survival, her human want to survive. And
like open water, sands, sharks, and water.
Plus space. And, I think is a good way to put it.
Like that movie.
Yes. So Chad, what did you think of Gravity?
Yeah, so it's getting a lot of really good reviews. I think we were both really excited for it. It looks great in terms of like what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So I think really you're getting more of that. Everything that's been said about it's 100% true. It's very tense. Like you're all 90 minutes. I mean, right from the outset, pretty much the first 5 minutes are your only reprieve, and then from there it gets just crazy. It just pushes through the end. So it has a pace to it that's really just crazy. And
it's only an hour and a half-ish long, but it does feel... and he's known for his long takes. I mean, there are some tremendously long takes in this movie, which is impressive.
Yeah, so I think all those things definitely are accurate. It's visually amazing. I mean, you've never seen anything like this. You've never seen space like this. It just looks so realistic and crazy that this has been made. I think like just computer technology, I was thinking about that today. It's some of the things that come out are so hokey, like the 47 Ronin. Some of the things there just look so ridiculous. I'm like, this is just crazy. Like, but if this came out when Jurassic Park came out in like early 90s, like that would have been crazy. Yeah. Now Gravity is doing that, but artistically.
It sets the bar. I mean, I think we can both agree that this sets the bar to what can be done for filmmaking. And a lot of people have taken to Twitter and saying, 10 years from now, 15, 20, the filmmakers of that area are going to, cite Gravity as a reason that they got into filmmaking, because it raises the bar for movies. I mean,
and I think it just beyond the visuals in terms of like space looking awesome. I mean, the 3D is used so well here because you got the layers of like things.
You mean there's no
around.
One hitting a ping pong ball?
Even though there was kind of that moment where stuff goes out and he has to reach for it, but it's used so well. But I think what they really did well with the CG stuff, it's just making the shots longer and just making that
the movement of the camera.
In terms of like how it was shot was just so different. Because like coming around on something and then coming from the other direction, but it's all one shot. It's just ridiculous. So that's all true. I mean, obviously, it's not going to live up to all the hype it was getting. I mean, the story is kind of weak. There's a lot of things that just, you're like, well, that doesn't really make sense, but you're just going to buy it because it's just
and you don't have any time with the characters, like, on Earth beforehand.
Right.
You just see them, they're in space, you actually just see really Earth starting out, and then it's just them doing their jobs, and then the movie just starts.
Yeah.
So it does lack, characters
and they do put some
things
character
like that.
development in there, which I think is good, and I think it really was made better just because these are great actors. I think without them behind it, really the characters would have been flat, but they do try at least a little bit. Not much in way of plot in terms of like stuff that's happening, but it's not supposed to be that. So I think overall really, really good, but obviously not the most amazing story ever, but you can forgive it because it just looks insane.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, like I said before, it sets the bar in just visuals. I mean, 100%. If you go to see this, spend the extra dollars and see it in 3D. I am not a fan of 3D, but this was a movie that it's worth seeing in because 100%. It's just the depth that it uses to really encapsulate things really well. a couple minor faults with the movie is, there isn't much character development. They do make you care and want to root for these characters, and I was rooting for them even without it. So I think that was successful. The plot, it doesn't much go into what they were doing up there, what her mission was, things like that. But it really it's an experiment in the filmmaking, and this was the quietest theater that I have ever sat in. No one's phone went off. Some person was eating candy in the beginning, and either they finished or decided this was making too much noise. It was no talking, and it was a pretty packed theater. So this movie was able to grab everyone and hold on to them for, what I think the normal movie-going audience isn't used to with these extremely long takes. I mean, the cuts in this movie could be counted on, two hands. Like, just, it was just a continuous moment of action. Another, detractor is, every time she's in a situation, she makes it through by, a second. 1 second is what saves her in a lot of different situations. But, that did help with the tension. I was edge of my seat, my heart was racing. And, I really can't recommend this movie, enough to people who appreciate anything about visual effects, anything, space. It's really amazing. You feel like you're there, and you could see why astronauts never want to come back because of how just beautiful the movie is all around. So I would certainly recommend it.
Yeah, I think in some circumstances we say a movie's good, but don't rush out and see it. This is a must see in theaters. Yeah, you have to see it in theaters.
So this is the movie that they should have been, if you've gone to the movies recently, they have that promo where, why are you watching movies on such a small screen? And this movie is the poster child for going to see it in a theater. I would see this in IMAX if given the opportunity, because I think that would be amazing. I might throw up, but, definitely check this out in theaters. It's that time of the episode where we like to give our thanks. Chad, what are you thankful for today?
In spirit of space movies,
the final frontier.
One of my favorite space movies. It's stupid. It's corny. Armageddon. Mm-hmm. I like it. It's fun. It's a popcorn flick. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's on...
Great use of an Aerosmith song.
Yeah, true. I think it's on Netflix or on demand or something somewhere, I'm sure. But, that was the summer of
Well, I would like to thank Deep Impact.
I was going to say, it was also Deep Impact, which was good, but I don't think it's action.
No, it wasn't.
It's a Michael Bay film. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's Bruce Willis being crazy with Ben Affleck. And
Steve Buscemi's role in that, I think, is great. He steals the show.
It's not a good movie, but it's one that, there's these types of movies that you can watch on a weekend afternoon, and it's just fun because you can come into it at any point. And so I appreciate it. So that's a space movie that I like.
Sure. Well, keeping in that vein of thanking space movies, I would like to give my thanks out to Galaxy Quest. You might have done that before, but keep it in the vein of space movies. If you haven't seen it, it's a spoof off of Star Trek and what would happen if they were actually put in a situation. I haven't seen it recently, but it's a movie that I've been meaning to rewatch because of all the references. I remember just enjoying it immensely when I saw it, the first time, and I know I've rewatched it since. But check out Galaxy Quest if you haven't seen that yet.
Oh, another really good space movie that doesn't really have to do with space because it's just about going to space and they never actually go is Gattaca, if you've ever seen that. Awesome movie. That's
a good one. And another one, Another Earth is a really good one that has an underlying thing about space because they discover that there's another Earth that is exactly the same as us and the people are the same. That's a pretty cool one too. So 4 good space movies to check out after you see Gravity in theaters.
Yeah, awesome. So we're going to be back on Thursday giving our hands-on impressions of the new
Xbox One. Holy crap, we got to try it.
Awesome. So check back for that. Thanks for watching. Go see Gravity. It's awesome.
What's up with that?
We'll see you next time.